Hi there, welcome to Carcassonne with Utze and not another, two WTCOC quarterfinals. It's Ukraine, Brazil, more or less right now, and then UK, Poland in about 90 minutes. Let's assess the first one. So on table one, I'd say Nazario should be the favorite. On table two, Adria definitely is the heavy favorite. He is ranked number one in the ELO ratings right now. Table three should be a closer affair, although Samuelson has quite a lot of experience accumulated. We'll see if Zetson can manage a close game there. Pavel Bryn, maybe a 55% favorite versus Ed, but not a clear-cut one. So this might actually be the closest of the 5 duels. And then there's Lawyer versus Theus Gladiator, where Lawyer, I'd say, is the favorite, and that's the game I have picked, at least I think so. Let me quickly check. Yeah, I said table 5, so table 5 it is, and it's still a minute to go. So later on we have UK Poland. This should be the closer match. In the first one, I would expect Ukraine to definitely win, quite likely even with a 4-1 score. UK Poland though should be closer. So close match on table 1, close match on table 2. Normally a close match on table 3, although Statmat isn't in the best shape of his career, and we'll see if he'll manage to put out a good performance today. Then MTU I'd favor on table 4 and Lord Terrycloth on table 5. So overall, I'd say Poland 3-2, maybe 4-1 even. But there's still a chance for UK to win this, of course. It's Carcassonne after all. So let's check. And by the way, whoever wins this match will play the semifinal versus Japan. And the other winner will face the US or Chile in the semifinals. So let's open first and foremost the game I'd like to cover here, and that's Theus Gladiator versus Lawyer. Lawyer, as all Ukrainians on my stream today with the yellow meeples. One addition, if you haven't watched my earlier stream, there is a slightly grayish number next to the victory points up top. These are the points, or were the points if the game would be over right now. So in Lawyer's case, he scores 5 points for the monastery, 3 points up top for this city, which sums up to 8. Blue over here protects against, of course, a total kill. And yellow now attacks this city because they don't like the prospects of blue closing this one and later getting a Dorito for 14 points city. Lawyer might use it here because turning this the other way around and blocking 2 versus 1 meeples over here might not be in his interest. Yep, a perfect solution for yellow is, of course, just getting the road monastery here. Now this looks really great for yellow. Mm. Blue's biggest problem right now is this road here. Although if he could just connect this to the road and provided by yellow, this should work out fine for them. Although the other end could be a bit problematic. Right now, maybe just taking the points here could work. Yeah, sure, you would provide another piece to yellow's monastery, but still. Blue opts to take to start a new city, which is fine, of course. He has enough meeples. All three extenders are still out there, so why not? Yellow adds another point to their monastery and also prevents the problem of using a horse here and then killing this square, and with this their city at the bottom as well. This way they could use the horse themselves to just score these 4 points. And there's no way of attacking this city from the left side. That's a bit iffy by blue here, because I don't see the urgent need of closing this city. They could have just waited, for example, for the aforementioned extenders. And they had still 2 meeples in hand, so could have even gone here and tried to attack Yellow City. Or if not, open another city and then trying to kill this square later on, maybe. At least putting some pressure on Yellow City there. Lawyer now with a rather problematic piece. Over here would have been an option. He didn't put it there because then he would have created an option for blue to attack this city with a second meeple, and there are still 4 big city tiles out there, and blue has the meeple power in hand, so definitely not a wise that would have been definitely not a wise choice. Now blue goes for the attack/obstruction from the bottom. Something is off here. So somehow my auto zoom doesn't work as intended. But I'll manage. Yeah, blue. Just continuing your road might be a way, but this then would create this square, which could be used to attack. Although with this up top, this city would be easily blocked like this. So he could risk it. Else there is this option, although I'd rather use a crossroad here. Take this loop and provide the road end. And there are still a lot of crossroads in the deck. Yeah, what to do here? Taking 2 points, taking the loop, or attacking the road. I'm not sure that's the best idea. 5 curves are already gone. But you definitely would like to liberate your monastery, meeple, and if you do this, at least tying the road would be nice. But the flip for this loop road here was the point why I at least hesitated, and I guess lawyer hesitated as well, because you really don't like to leave 4-point loops out in the open. And then there is the added problem of the crossroads still out there, which could be used to attack this road again on the right side. But at least the loop road worked out in his favor. We'll see about the right road end. For now, blue at least prevents yellow from closing the city at the bottom, attacks this. Nothing has changed, so still 4 big city, 5 big city tiles, the quadruple city tile as well, still out there. Although all a bit problematic, because once blue would connect here, it would immediately create an attacking spot for yellow. Yellow liberates the monastery, connects to the road, and now Theos, I think using the road end of the monastery is the move right now. This could be a 10-point road. There are still a lot of curves out there, although crossroads as well. And taking 4 points, immediate 4 points, works nicely. Interesting. So lawyer goes for the block here. Doesn't care about these 4 points. And gets punished by drawing the ugliest piece he could get in that moment. Theos goes for the attack. Lawyer with only 1 meeple in hand. Does he go for the monastery? I guess not, because there's only one monastery left, and what about the... Oops. Yeah. Sorry, my highlighter troubled me a bit here. So this one was built just to prevent the road unification there. He couldn't really use this because it's his last meeple, and there is really not that much left to put there. So one monastery, of course, and I think I saw, yeah, there's the 4th vanilla, so only 2 pieces here. That's definitely not a risk you take when it's killed with run road immediately. So just hoping to draw any road piece here or a crossroad immediately. But Dios gets the 10 points for this road. Which puts him at +8 for now. Yellow created a juicy spot here, which should be worth 6 points because the remaining 2 horses are shielded, and there's a 3-point road here. And if he manages to get one of these horses, he might even be able to still close the city. Yellow with the first farmer. I'm wondering why this took them so long. So even 5 cities. Then the question is, why didn't blue meeple this field here? Oh, they had no meeple in hand, huh? Yeah, they had no meeple in hand. That's why. But now, of course, they attack this field. Only question is, why do you go here and not over here? Having 2 options. Now this one at least is definitely blockable by getting a horse here, even though yellow would rather use it there. Tries to eliminate options here, and I think that's a kill. All curves should be gone. Yep, all curves are gone. Monasteries as well. So definitely a heavy miss by blue going over here instead of this square. Because here you could have just placed this way, taken a straight starting tile for that matter. But he's still ahead by scoring these 8 points. Doesn't need to win the main field. At least it looks this way right now. This square, of course, is killed, which was a good option for yellow to score points. There is still this loop road, although curves are gone, daggers are gone. Looks like one road Dorito is out there. And a crossroad still. Yeah, a regular crossroad. So there's still a road Dorito and a horse out there. Both could be used to attack this city. which is worth 7 points right now, but that's just not enough for Lawyer to equalize the game. He scores points, but Blue just takes another 6-point field on top of this one, extends their lead to right now 18 points. So this looks like a clear-cut win for Blue here. And on table 5, at Chaumont won their first game versus Pavel Bryn. Looks like it was a close one, at least from the score. Yellow gets the monastery here. But still 12 points, and you're not even the starting player. So Blue just taking ruin points, pushing the lead to 16 points. This should really be sufficient. Oh, by the way, if I am too far from the mic, just let me know. Due to the cam setup, I've changed the position, so the mic is over here. And sometimes if I relax a bit, I'm too far away from it, so the audio quality would suffer like it has happened earlier. So just remind me to move a bit closer. Yep. So what is this? Table 2. Adria, the heaviest of all favorites in this match, won their first game by a tie. And this goes to show you that it's still Carcassonne no matter how favored you are. You can lose a game and a duel against anyone. This really doesn't matter anymore. The same goes for this move. So Blue wins this. More or less by taking these 10 points and a few cities over here. Even though the monasteries were in Yellow's favor. So Lawyer got 3 and even won the 50-50 flip for this one. Yeah, nice game overall. Let's open the other one here. They haven't started. Okay. Then let's just refresh the scoreboard. And go to, whoa, already 4 moves played. So these two aren't taking their full time here. Oh, this is risky business by Blue. Just begging for these 3 meeples to being killed. And sure, Lawyer doesn't disappoint. And he even adds a 4th one up top. If you haven't noticed, I just rolled my eyes here. The prospects of this square maybe being killed and then this meeple being stuck at 3 points. Why do you go here? This exposes your road up top. Why not add it here, go there, then you could at least liberate your monastery meeple if you get the dagger, of course. Yep, and now this is dead, and I mean, I'm sorry, but I don't see how blue could win this game with this meeple minority here, especially if this one gets trapped as well. Farmer? Yeah, farmer. Exactly. Sure, you'd risk blue drawing double Doritos in succession, but why not pressure blue immediately? Yep, and now he blocks even this one here, as if it weren't bad enough for blue, but at least blue managed to close their road up top. Now creates a possible 5-point loop up there, which is okay, I guess. They need to close this road and need to hope for volatility in this game. With only one meeple, maybe two meeples, will be tricky to outscore yellow here. Drawing the remaining two starting tiles would be a nice idea, but it's only a 25%er. Meanwhile, Nazario won their first game versus Gigi Arruda on table 1. So the Brazilian just closed the road, left the city cap in the open because any Dorito or big city tile would have severely hindered their game plan by pushing it to the right and then later on trying to kill this because the quadruple city is already gone. Meanwhile, yellow tries to attack, blue tries to thwart this, and now opts out of this city building here, taking the field, but the monastery here. So risky play. Sure, take the field, try to attack, but in the end, it's quite likely yellow will counter this and win this 12, maybe 15, 18-point field in the end outright. So here goes, attacked by yellow. I think there's still a dagger left. I only see 2. So protection. Instead, yellow protected their connection on the left because taking these 8 points plus the connection here would more or less be enough to win the game in the end. They don't need to close this one and hope for the 50-50 here. Yeah, this one I like. Could have gone there instantly, but they didn't. They just thought about this and how they should compete here, how they should be attacking Blue's field, and if they should even help Blue's monastery liberation or not. And so definitely a good idea to think for a moment, especially if you have the time and a lawyer has more than enough time on their clock. Zetson won their first game on table 3 versus Samuelson. So that's the third Brazilian who was able to win their first game versus Ukraine. Right now, the heavy favorite is behind. Lawyer gets the connection piece, but was limited or is limited to the last remaining left-handed dagger. And he gets it and drops, of course, a farmer there for the 6-point field. So overall, an 11-point move, pushing him in the lead. Another 4-point move here. And I'm not even sure if this one is dead. Looks like there's still a rose left. So arguably he could still close this one. He was attacks this and yeah, tough luck that lawyer just got this, but there are still 2 Doritos. Yeah, 2 Doritos, but I think this was the last big city piece. Yep. So any city piece from the right side would kill this. Let's check which Doritos are left, and looks like 1 each. So this here would only limit this connection to 1 tile. Or 50-50. The city right now is worth 10 points. So even if lawyer were to lose this ruin to blue, he'd still be ahead. And that's why blue aggressively scores here. Also needs to dodge a few city caps here. And there, of course. Because as I said, still there's the dagger and the rose. Even though in this case, might even use the dagger here. or just not add any of his cities, because creating another city cap and a 7-point location on his field might be the better move. Now the question should be this or this. Starting tiles are gone, so any city from the left would block this. But Road Monastery as well. I think there's still a straight. Yeah, so there should still be a straight, so one tile left to connect and snatch these 6 points from blue, which should then be the final coffin in blues. Yeah, I'm drawing a blank here. The final coffin? The final nail in blues coffin? Yeah, I think that works. Yellow could go here just to threaten on the immediate completion of this city with the rose. They could do the same over here, although there are still the Doritos and also another diagonal splitter available to close this city. And he gets both immediately. Drops road meeple, but doesn't matter. And this game will be yellows. And at least he wouldn't have gotten both cities, because blue got the last Dorito. And I forgot to open the second game of Samuel's on Setson. Please, folks, if you see there's an empty window in the corner, just say so. So this here is tight, and at least we'll have one decider. Looks like at Chamont Pavel Bryn is a close one and covered already. Adria is ahead by 10 points versus Besson. Let's quickly check this game. And then I'll switch back to lawyer in 2 or 3 minutes, maybe. So if I remember correctly, Adria had a +10. So the question is whether blue gets to connect here. To take over this field, basically. And it's a 15-point field, so +12 for blue if they manage to connect here. So let's check if it's still possible. And at least there's a crossroad remaining. A starting tile would fit, but isn't available anymore. And straights are gone as well. So 50-50 flip for the last remaining crossroad, unless I missed it somehow, but I think I don't. And then there's the question, what should you do the rest of your pieces, and that's a nice idea. There is one road monastery, but the second one is still in the deck, and blue just created 2 options to attack this 9-point field. And if there's still a vanilla out there, which there isn't, that's a shame, because monastery over here and then vanilla here would connect to the main field and win the main field for blue. Yellow could counter here with a farmer, but at only +7, and if they farm +10 again, that's really not that great, because blue would use this option and still has the crossroad. So basically, Adria at least has to get one of these pieces. If blue would get both, it's quite likely they'd win this game. And I just hope Theus and Lawyer won't finish their game while these two are deliberating about this crucial endgame here. So what should yellow do now, apart from this idea, which I don't really like, although then they could connect with the crossroad. Straights are gone, daggers are gone. How about curves? Curves are gone. Did I say straights are gone? Straights aren't gone. So now we have only the crossroad and the monastery left. So if blue gets the crossroad, they'd score 4 for this road, and I even missed a city. 15 for the field. So +19 from -7, so +12, which Adria quite likely won't be able to counter. So he has to hope to draw the crossroad, but this would mean that blue would definitely be able to connect in either base. For a +13 here, a +14 there. No, it's he takes the road, of course. So it doesn't matter which side he'd connect, he would score 6 for the road, 9 for this field. So +15. for a lead of 8 points. So if Adria goes over here, he then could connect with the crossroad at these 12 points again, -1, so +11, which should win him the game. Yeah, I think that's the move. Because blue is definitely guaranteed to connect to one field, either the top one or the bottom one. And the bottom one is a game over move. Yeah, there's nothing Adria can do about that one. So he has to counter blue drawing the monastery. And then this here should be it. Let's see what he does. And indeed, Lawyer and Theus. Oh, snap! Oh, snap! Oh, snap! He attacks here, and he gets the monastery. This more or less works the same, just with tiles reversed. So if blue gets the monastery, he take this up top. But yellow gets it. Wins the field or ties the field again, and blue just scores these 4 points. If pieces were reversed, blue would score the 15 points up top, and yellow would score nothing. So a 50-50 flip nonetheless, either if you'd go here or here, although this here looks really nice, definitely. So, these two then won't play a decider because Adria managed to win the second game as well. Then let's at least cover the end game of Theus Gladiador and Lawyer's Decider. I'm sorry, I wouldn't have thought the other game would need what is it? 7 for almost 10 minutes to complete. An interesting farmer for blue at the bottom. This square is definitely dead. How about this one? Well, we don't really care. There is a 9-point field with potential under attack by blue. And overall, it looks like blue's ahead. Yeah, well, let's take a look at the score. Yeah, looks like it. And they are starting player. Up top, he at least prevents blue from snatching the 9 points completely. It's a 7-pointer on the right side. And there is a nice monastery spot over here for 6 points. 7 points, excuse me, but it's blue's last meeple. So likely just taking the 3 points on the right side. What about this here? It's not alive anymore because yellow drew the last remaining dagger. On table 4, Ed Charmant was able to win a duel for Brazil. So overall, the match is tied at 1 duels apiece. So Lawyer still has to score a bit here. And there aren't many juicy options. Good news for him, though, there's no starting tile left. All 4 are gone. So this square is dead. There's no option to score these 4 points for blue. There isn't a row, so this is dead completely. These squares are dead because all 5 vanillas are gone. In the end, it might come down to there's still a splitter. No, both splitters are over here, so this city is dead as well. Blue takes a 6-point field, which actually, apart from getting a city piece with a shield, is the highest scoring feature, which one could take with 1 meeple at the moment. So plus 10. And how could yellow score 10 points here? This road would be one option if there is still a road end available. Crossroads are gone and the 3 horses as well, so not that great. Both monasteries are gone as well. Maybe taking a ruin or even still a city. There's still a vertical splitter left. Yeah, there is a vertical splitter left. So this here could have been an option. Now that it's gone, not anymore, but yeah, it would have been an option. Nope, the daggers are gone, the vanillas are gone, all splitters are gone. Blue kills this. There is no piece to close this city cap. Looks like there are mostly road pieces and 2 monasteries left. Yeah, looks like it. could kill one of these monastery squares, but only one. Lawyer takes 6 points up top, if there isn't anything better. And then it's Lawyer's game by 1 point. By 1 point. Eked it out. But at least in the end, it wasn't a 50-50 flip, because either with the monastery or the Dorito, he would have scored the necessary 6 points. Oh, he didn't even need 6 points. So 5 points would have been enough, because the Brazilian was the starting player in this game. On table 1, Nazario won their second game versus GD Aruda. And on table 3, Setson won their game versus Samuelson. So I guess these two were finished slightly before this match here. And therefore, folks, we just witnessed the decider between Ukraine and Brazil. In the end, Ukraine won, a bit closer than at least I had expected. But considering they only needed one decider, well, a close game, definitely. So this then begs the question whether they should be the favorite against Japan, or if Japan should be the favorite in the semifinals. And I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. I guess Ukraine's lineup might change. So notably missing today were Basiliuk, for example, and maybe even their team captain Zaharik. But we'll see about that. Yeah, if you have any idea for the break, which is now indeed incoming, then let me know. Else I would like to take a quick break and maybe continue. But for now, earlier there was the match between RCP and Japan. And there was a game there which might merit a closer look. Although I guess Otto has covered this already, so I really don't have to do this again. So any ideas for now or the next 20 to 30 minutes? Else I'll take a dinner break and would see you later. Yeah, so no ideas. Okay, then I take a break and see you later in about 30 minutes. Hi there, I'm back. Oh, I think, yeah, sound should be working. If it's too loud, let me know. So we witnessed two matches today, RCP Japan, where Japan was able to win. Well, is it close if you win 3 duels to 0 and only lose the 2 where your opponent was the favorite? Well, question of philosophy. And then Ukraine, Brazil, where the Ukrainians were able to eke out the win. The final situation here was this one, where Lawyer took this 4-point road in a situation where he was 10 points behind. And his opponent had already meepled this 6-point field here with his last meeple. Still 2 monasteries out there and this juicy city piece. And in the end, these 5 points on the left plus 6 points on the top were enough for Lawyer to eke out the 1-point win. Of course, a tie would have also been sufficient, but why not win if you can win? So it was close on the scoreboard and the match as well, but actually in the end game, I think it was more or less unavoidable for Theosia to lose, even if it were by a tie. But I'd have to take a closer look at this game. But sadly, I need to eat as well, so I had to take a dinner break. So now we have still 3 minutes to go before UK Poland will start. Well, we can skip the ELO ratings of Ukraine and Brazil, and I might just switch the order here, or even leave Ukraine and Brazil altogether. We don't need these anymore, I guess. But I need to leave the scoreboard like this just to prevent the tiles from running over here, although we'll see about that later on. So there is table 1, which quite likely I'll be covering till the completion. I hope for a close game. I expect a close game, but will it become a close game? We'll see. Table 2 should be a close game as well. Table 3 in theory, of course, as well, because these 2 world champions here facing off. Under normal circumstances, I'd say it's a toss-up completely. But Matt's results as of late in this WTCOC weren't great. I haven't seen him play a lot in last week, so I really can't comment if that's due to him playing weird moves or having no luck at all or whatever. But today is another day, and if he decides to play against Poland, then I think he should be able to win his duel, no matter whom he faces. And this time it's UI Scooty, so Tomasz Preuß. And I'd lean a tad in the Poland's favor, but we'll see if this actually will be the case in the end. I hope for decider, because then it's quite likely this would be the last game running and I'd have at least a chance to witness the last one live. So on table 4, I really like MTU style, going all in on every second or third move. And in this case, I'd say he should be the favorite, 60-65% maybe. And on table 5, roles might be reversed. At least I would favor Lord Terrycloth. So overall, I'd favor Poland. I'd say 60-65% favorite or so. But this doesn't have to mean anything. It's still Carcassonne. There are still at least 10 games to be played. And whoa, what's this? Have they started early? I thought this was set up for 1 minute past half, but well, we'll see. So first of all, let's open the tables and then check if someone covers table 3, else I might switch. Yeah, okay. Yep, it looks all as expected. So table 3 is covered by another streamer, so I'll stick with table 1 and might switch later if this one has concluded. For now, let me quickly check if the chat is working, because you don't, so I have to sometimes. Yep, it works. And if you want to get featured on stream, you actually have to chat, because then I could do this here. If you don't, well, you won't. So enough fun for now. Let's assess the situation here. Blue getting 2 monasteries, which bodes well for their chances. They had a meeple here on the road. That's why they have 3 points in the bank or on the scoreboard. It's a bit iffy due to this square, but there are still 2 daggers remaining. One, of course, is over here. So it shouldn't be a big problem for them. This here, on the other hand, could become a problem quite quickly. That's why they at least try to obstruct yellow a bit there. And yellow does the same on the left side, which I don't really like. So definitely they'd have to remove themselves from this city equation and just go for the field there, which in the end should work in their favor. Blue might just add this here. Prevent yellow from killing the square or blocking the square from the left side to the two remaining daggers. Sure, take the road. It could easily become a loop, so why not? And once this loop would be completed, I think dropping a farmer would be nice, even with only the one city already on the field, because it has or would have all these juicy green squares available. In this case, not so much. Then I'd rather take the meeple in hand and wait for another option. Yellow attacks blue city on the right side, as they should, creating another monastery spot on the way, but that's not really a big problem due to blue having one on the left side as well, so they could pick their spot here. They at least thwart yellow's immediate attack, and this Dorito isn't the prime piece to block or obstruct blue city, so they just add this to there at the bottom. Blue defends the monastery, of course. Two vanilla still remaining. Yellow getting the perfect piece from the deck to attack blue city. Only two daggers in the deck, so roughly a 5% chance of drawing one. But sometimes you get the perfect piece from the deck, and you should just rejoice. By the way, I know there aren't that many viewers online right now, but if you'd ever be interested in co-hosting or blathering on stream with me, well, let me know. And I definitely would consider this because it's way more fun to talk with someone than simply me if I manage it into the camera. So blue takes quick points, yellow takes quick points, yellow harassed blue's monastery, at least kills one monastery spot, and creates an option to later on kill this square, and with this the monastery completely. Blue limits yellow city, more or less ruined now, to the last remaining horse. Two are already on the board. And now yellow's farm there doesn't really look great, but considering blue just tied this one, that doesn't really matter that much. Blue created this option to assert pressure on, no, yellow created that option to assert pressure on blue's monastery. That's an interesting way to go. Blue might now even consider a defense like this and then hoping to draw simple road pieces to close their monastery. If there were still two road monasteries out there, they might use it this way, but not with this tile stack still remaining. Both with only one meeple in hand Although yellow has at least 3 meeples they could rather easily liberate. Killing another monastery square, well, endangering your road at least a tiny bit in the process. Now they are getting this city meeple back. Will be interesting to see whether yellow will snatch the road before blue does. Because once blue gets the curve, they definitely will, or quite likely should. And then there is another option of adding a farmer there. Because right now, this field only scores the 3 points, but there are more options. So could become a 12-point field with only a few moves here. And then it would be definitely nice to own it. Yellow goes for the total kill on the left side. Sure, why not? As long as you don't force it. So, for example, I wouldn't advise on using the splitter there now. Just taking the points, quite likely in this way. And then killing this one here, for example, with the horse or a horse or a shieldless Dorito, for example. Definitely more my style. That's tricky. Creating a sinister hamster. And even if they don't get the regular monastery, which there are still 3 in the deck, at least they'd get this field. And so blue might need to put an insurance farmer on the right side sometime. Here we go. There's the monastery. Sadly, there's the meeple missing because, oh look, no meeples in hand. So they don't get their cake. No, they got their cake, but they won't eat it. This looks like a nice opportunity to block this one. Even though there is still 1 dagger remaining. So 50-50 shot over here for yellow. And they definitely need a road and or a Dorito. Preferably rather now than later. There's a Dorito, but in blue's hands. Yellow closes this city from the left side, still having the 50-50 flip for the last remaining horse. Nice. That's really nice. It adds, of course, 2 city caps to yellow's field, but it also prevents this attack. No, just this one. This here is still alive if blue manages to get. Is it the last? Yeah, it's the last road Dorito or another city piece over there. Although the cap, you'd likely take the 4 points and then hope to attack later. Meanwhile, on table 1, Beachy was able to win their game versus Jackface. Case P could kill Blue's city, and I don't see why they shouldn't. Oh, there's this here, but I guess it's due to this being the... Is it the penultimate? No. There's still 2 curves left. Well, then quite likely I would have killed this city first with 2 meeples in hand. But of course, if you get all the Doritos, which yellow quite desperately needs now, then you should be fine in the end. So for now, even though this juicy field is in yellow's sole possession, they are behind in the total score. So I haven't mentioned this, at least not during this match. So the gray... Damn it. Why don't I just use this? So the gray scores up top are the total scores. So if the game would be over right now, these would be the end scores. Oh, please help me. So right now, Blue has an 11-point lead. So they don't need to win this field on the right side right now. They might need to if yellow were able to attack this city and successfully close it, for example. And there are still Doritos out there, but there is no dagger, no right-handed dagger, and no rose available. But I think there is still a starting tile. So this could be an option for yellow. Drawing the dagger and meepling the 6-point field, of course, works in their favor. Blue just checks whether there's still Dorito left. And I have good news for Blue. There should still be a field Dorito out there. This should have been the last road Dorito, and the splitters are gone as well. But there's still a starting tile and the horse remaining. So if need be, Blue could even close this like this. Yeah, prime opportunity for yellow to snatch 5 points. If there isn't anything else that's better, and I don't see anything that's definitely worth considering. This horse here would score 8 points for yellow. So 2 for the road, 2 for itself because it comes with the shield, plus 4 here. So killing this wouldn't be the worst idea, even if you are behind by 2 points. Although blue might need it anyway, else yellow would snatch these 4 quick points here. So crucial piece for blue definitely is the Dorito. If they snatch that one, even though it has no shield, so it would propel their city from right now 9 to 20 points, so a plus 11, minus 3, plus 8-point move, maybe plus 11 if they farm there. And they definitely would, considering they only have 2 turns remaining. And I'm not sure what yellow is thinking about. Which 7 points to take? Likely. Or if they need to take this one to prevent an attack here. So there's the Dorito. The starting tile here. There is the horse. And monastery? Yeah, a monastery. Yeah, if blue gets the Dorito, they get over here. And this here doesn't matter because there's no connection there. So just ignore this. Then there is this option of attack, but there's no way to connect there as the only connection piece is gone. Yeah, so yellow is quite likely taking the 7 points now. And now blue gets 4 and has the 50-50 flip for the Dorito, and the Dorito goes to yellow. And then blue will get the monastery and lose this game. Yellow just takes 3 points somewhere. Just take your pick. And blue then will score 5 for the monastery if there isn't any better spot. There is. Here's a 6-point spot. But in the end, it then should still be a +2 for yellow, and even a tie would be enough for them. But keep in mind, we see the total score. The players don't. They have to calculate all this or keep a running score in their head. So +2 for Olo Cake, and meanwhile MTU was able to win their first duel, their first game versus Fanatical Lime. Lord Terrycloth won their first one versus Tomaszek. So the only first one still running is, as expected, StatMat versus UI Scooty. And that's definitely a close one. So considering Alexi is covering this, I won't hop to this game, but rather watch it later. And just wait for these two here. So Olo Cake and KSPTTW to start the second one, and they already did. why not do this? You'd prevent more bad outcomes than good outcomes for you. But the deck worked in their favor. So which one is there? MTU and Lord Terrycloth also starting their second games. Meanwhile, table 3 still in the first game and table 2 in the second one. Yellow doing what they should be doing in this situation, trying to prevent blue from closing the city and maybe attacking the road again or prolonging this city to the left side. So now they might use a quadruple city up top. Yeah. Also worth a consideration, preventing a road attack. Even though this could lead to a situation where this square gets blocked and blue wins the mini battle versus yellow's ruin. But if you opt out of the road and would be able to kill this square and with this 2 of blue's meeples versus the 1 from your side, well then it definitely would work out in your favor. Excuse me, I need to drink a sip. Yeah, definitely better than the raspy voice. Yellow city building on the right side, scoring quick points. Blue takes a monastery in a rather nice spot. Still 3 monasteries out there to stack over here. And blue got the perfect piece from the deck, or one of the nice pieces to liberate their road. And considering the prospects of this field, they just take the farm right now, right there. Efficient city building by yellow, harassing blue city at the same time, more or less rendering there as dead. They don't get a curve or crossroad to defend, get obstructed over here to the 2 remaining daggers. But blue responds in kind by obstructing a yellow city on the right side. Overall, blue is slightly ahead due to their second monastery and snatching a field. Oh boy, would you look at that. So, UI Scooty wins the first game by tying this one. Nice. Yellow attacked monastery and city. Blue was able to defend, so this square is still alive, but this is dead. So their city will be stuck at most at 3 points. But as consolation, they get to close their city on the right side, although for sure they would have preferred a piece with a field on the left side to block this to the last remaining starting tile. But then there's another one and they get to console them, and that's the monastery, or one monastery. Although a bit problematic because any city piece here would limit these two to the starting tile I mentioned earlier. So just now, Pretty more or less wiped the floor with Jack face, winning 2-0 by almost 50 points in the second game. So at least from the results, looked like there wasn't great chance for yellow here. So quite likely this was blue's city. So 1-0 Poland. Yeah, and it came exactly as I had talked about earlier. So this here was limited, and yellow more or less immediately afterwards got the last remaining starting tile. So this is dead. And therefore blue has at least these 3 dead farmers. Meeple, the farmer, we could consider that as well. Stuck on a 6-point field for now. Maybe there's a chance to extend the field on the left side, but I don't really see it. Considering a lot of caps are already gone. Meanwhile, yellow snatched another field here. There is still the second road monastery out there, which would guarantee them, or more or less guarantee them against loose meeple minority to win this 21-point field plus 8 points at least for this monastery. They set up this road here, but right now they aren't in the lead. They are still behind. Blue still has chances if they manage to draw the quick point tiles. For yellow, there is, of course, still the option to attack the city on the left side. There are still big city pieces out there. 2 cows. Horses are all gone. Yep, another 6 points for blue. So tricky, or maybe tricky business for yellow. Where to put this now? No, this one I don't really like. because your opponent needs chances like this. Why leave this in the open? Hmm. This here could work out for yellow, trying to add this city to their field. Although there aren't really that many pieces left to even connect there. So now I think it's time. Oh, yeah, this one is definitely better. There you can't be blocked with one piece. Which wasn't possible over here, but here a limitation would have been quite likely. So yellow manages to add this city to their field. Blue scores another 4 points, courtesy of yellow helping them by leaving the city cap there. So still plus 13 blue. And in the end, if there weren't still 13 tiles out there and yellow wouldn't have chances to counter, blue could just drop a farmer here. But there are enough pieces to counter attack. And of course, there's the elephant, or should I say hamster in the room. So move like this would definitely be too early and kill their game more or less, or could kill their game. Why? I mean, there are still caps out there, right? There's at least the splitter. Looks like a vanilla, so maybe here, hoping to draw a cap. And if not, how about at least adding this to your field? No, this is not yellow's field. These aren't connected. Okay, so I still don't like this. Blue tried to attack, yellow prevents the block, and there are still 2 road Doritos remaining. Very good news for blue. Snatching the monastery, even though this adds this city to yellow's now huge field. At least considering the 9 cities it scores. But still, blue manages the lead here just by getting the quick point tiles. They have the 1 meeple in hand for ages and just get quick point tiles. And this here too, I think. Yep. Nice curve by yellow. they are quite likely to get the connection here, and then they'll score these +4. So overall, this city, or rather ruin right now, well, I don't have to count. Yellow connects and scores the +10 +2 16-point move. Surges ahead. And this might be all she wrote, unless yellow manages to connect here. Was this the last? Yeah, well, no matter what, this was the last root Dorito, so this square is dead. And therefore, oh look, Cake will win the second game, and with this, the duel versus KSP-TTW, which definitely is good news for UK, because at least to me, this was one of the toss-up games or toss-up duels, and winning this one definitely helps if you want to reach the semis. So congratulations, Olo Cake. They quite likely didn't worry as much about the prospects because they knew they were the favorite to, in the end, win this ruin. And this was what they needed in addition to this field monstrosity on the right side. So let's check what else is up there. Fanatical Lime MTU is covered right now. Richie is over. StatMed UI is covered as well. So let's check out Lord Terrycloth versus Tomaszek. Looks like a field fight to me. This is, yeah, thanks. This is tied, unlikely to be attacked. Although, if there's still a chance, blue might even need to go for this, but I guess they need to protect their city up top, because all 3 horses are gone. So any Dorito or big city tile here would kill the square. Oh boy. Oh boy. Why not just take the 4 points? I only see 2 roses, and there might be a dagger available as well. Yeah, looks like it. So take 4 points here. You still have 2 chances to close your city. Now it's dead. And by dropping this 3-point farmer here, there's actually, well, you just provided another meeple to yellow. No. So to me, this definitely was a mistake, and it could have been a or maybe the game deciding one. I don't I don't get this. So if anyone in the chat has any clue, let me know. I don't understand this one. Yeah. Okay. Yellow takes 6 points, and this is game over. Considering the highest scoring piece on the board is in blue's hands already, which is the field. And now I get this at least a tiny bit, because this is the 7th city on blue's main field. So at least it's a 6-point move. But as I said, a 6-point move that gives your opponent a meeple back. So the second meeple in their hand, and for you, it's a net 0 meeple move. And you're behind by a dozen points or so, and I don't get it. In comparison to this, a 4-point move, which could become, although this only scores 2 points, but still, then you'd get a meeple back, and so on and so on. Might take this road here or the field, depending on the exact situation. So sorry about harping on about this, but nope, nope, nope. This can't be the best move in this situation. Quite likely a total block, or at least the last cap, which would have fit here. Yeah, vanillas are gone. These splitters are gone, and I saw the other splitter somewhere. There we go. And this was the third dagger. But in the end, it's plus 20 yellow. And there's nothing for blue here. So David might just take these 4 points. Okay, he takes his time. Let's check. So there is still a horse out there. A cow, no horse. Horses are gone. Doritos are gone as well. Extenders, I only see 2. Yeah, so 1 extender, 1 cow. Crossroads. Quadruple crossroad. And something else. Yeah, the starting tile, of course. Yeah, take the 7-point road. Blue just does something else. Well, I guess yellow just takes the 6 points then. Oh, they don't have a meeple in hand. Well. And meanwhile, MTU was able to win their game and their duel versus a Fanatical Lime. So the decisive match, the decisive duel is taking place between StatMat and UI Scooty. And StatMat needs to win both games to secure UK's semi-final. And UI Scooty has 2 chances, or maybe only one, considering the score right now, to win this duel, and with this, the match for Poland. So let's switch. And considering we have all the space in the world right now, let's use it. No, we don't need the scoreboards anymore. We have a better option now. And it looks like just equalizing this city/ruin here might actually make all the difference. Or could make all the difference. So this definitely will be a close one. Yeah. Yep. Wise move. Wise move, Matt. Wise move. Looks like there are still 2 big city pieces out there. So the cow and the horse, and at least with the horse, Blue could have attacked this, and maybe with something else as well. So let's actually assess this. Crossroads. Yeah, 1 regular crossroads still out there. All monasteries are gone. Doritos. All Doritos are gone. Diagonal splitters are gone. Vertical splitters are gone. Daggers are gone. Extenders, the tiles I usually forget to count, they are gone as well. Vanillas. Yeah, 1 vanilla is left. So 1 vanilla, 1 horse, 1 regular crossroad. So field crossroad, that is. Starting tiles. 1 starting tile. Curves. No curve, quite likely the last straight. Ooh. And blue just connected to the field. Because why did yellow play this move? I think Matt has just blown the game. I think he could have just killed the square. And would have saved the 15 points he just lost by blue connecting. Oh man, I have to check this. But I'm pretty sure. So, arguably, or admittedly rather, he had not a lot of time. I think he ended the game with 20 plus seconds on the clock. But still. Okay. No, that's too far. Yeah, now I have to load again. Ah, damn it. Hi, MTU. Yeah, sure. I do my very best here. Again? But so this here, let me quickly change the colors. So matte. Yeah, blue does this. Matt had not a lot time on his clock, but he has a 7-point lead right now. And there's still one chance and only one chance for blue to connect. So if yellow just puts the starting tile over here, blue can't connect. And blue has only one move left. And with this one move, there is the horse out there, which would score blue, which still has a meeple in hand, 7 points. And yellow wouldn't score anything with the vanilla. They could close this city, but considering this field is tied or would be tied, and the top field is owned by blue, this would be a minus 3-point move. So they wouldn't do that. They can't add anything to their city, monastery. Okay, so if yellow goes here and blue gets the horse and blue wins by a tie, but no, damn it. I can't count. This 4 points. These are 4 points plus 2 is 6 points. So 6 points for blue. And this is 130, which is 1 point less than yellow has. So this here, if I'm not terribly mistaken, would be 100% winning move for Matt. 100%. Okay, let's no, that's wrong. I need the timing. I need to see how much time he had left. It wasn't a lot, that's for sure. But he ended the game with 25 seconds. He had 43 when he got the starting tile and only took 3 seconds to execute that move. So this means he can't really I'm mixing this. He can't really have thought a lot about this. Why not? Why not? I don't get this. Maybe he forgot about this attack, maybe he miscounted, but he threw this game. That's the end of it. And that's sad news. Because, sure, a decider and the duel and the match is wide open. But he threw it. So, MTU, if you're still there, please correct me if I'm wrong. Same goes for everyone else. Just let me know. Yeah, I have to think a moment and check again if there's anything I have missed here. But it's Blue's last move. They only have the connection or taking 5 or 6 points on the left. There's nothing else. Really, nothing. Yeah. So I think Matt just thought there was nothing to connect here. That's and he must have been sure about this. Else he would have at least taken a few seconds to check. I mean, it's easy to glance at the board and see if all 6 monasteries are there. Depending, well, on your experience, vanillas are trickier, definitely trickier. But if they are clustered like in this game, it's sometimes, at least for me, easier to see them. Yeah, so arguably it's tough to find out if there is still a piece left to connect here in, let's say, 30 seconds, because you need a few seconds to execute your last move. But at least checking again might have been worth it. So my hypothesis is he was absolutely sure that there was no connection piece. But we'd have to ask him, which I really don't want to do because it's like rubbing salt into a wound. So maybe down the road sometime. Yeah, so overall, congratulations, Poland, if I haven't said that much. Again, what is it today? So, no, it's not a 32, 33, it's 3. So we witnessed 3 close matches, but only one out of 15 duels needed a decider. Everything else was decided in 2 games. Really curious, really curious. after witnessing a lot of close games with multiple deciders in the group stage, I think even 2 or 3 matches took the whole 15 games to be decided. Now they don't. Yeah. But of course, only because the world champion didn't find the winning move here, which is actually sad because I really would have liked these two to play a third game. So now all there's left for these quarterfinals to figure out is whether Poland will meet the USA or Chile in the semifinals. And that's taking place later, 1.5 hours or in 2 hours? 2 hours, I think. Let's take this. Yeah, 2 hours, so 20:35 UTC. Well, if I'm still awake, which I quite likely will be, I will cover this one. This is way more fun than I would have expected. So, not a lot of folks still viewing, so to the few, thank you. And I'll see you later or on another day. Bye bye.